down to the lost and forgotten. It's hard to get high when you're living on the bottom.
Hello! I'm here to recap Days of Our Lives for September 15th through the 19th, and a lot happened this week, so let's get to it! Dun-dun-dun! Chad is back, and he has scenes with everybody this Salem this week. There's EJ, Abigail, Kate and Sammy, Jordan, Ben, T, and Wilson. Some highlights of Chad's return are he punches EJ, as we saw last week, but he also pulls a gun on him. Don't worry, it wasn't loaded, but later EJ gives him a threat that he better not take this to Sammy, and he better not jeopardize his reuniting with Sammy, because they are on the road, man. Chad makes it clear to Kate that he does not want to side with EJ or his father. He wants to take them both down, and he may even consider getting into business with Kate. Chad also surprises Abigail in the Hortontown Square. He lets her have it for sleeping with his brother. He said there was no one who could have hurt him worse. Ben, of course, comes to her rescue, and he really does not like Chad from the get-go. This continues at the club as Chad goes, "Was that any way to talk to your boss?" "Yeah, that's right. I own the club with Sonny." Surprise! Of course, he didn't have time to call Sonny, and Chad finds the pile of cash that Clyde had left his son, and he assumes that he stole, so they start, having some words, real manly stuff. Then a fight breaks out. Luckily, Wilson was there to break it up, thanks to T's text. So there is tension between Abigail's ex-boyfriend and her current boyfriend. That can't end well. Chad also comes to Jordan's rescue when Jeremiah, Clyde's friend, is harassing her. Spoiler, Chad might try to charm Jordan. However, there's also been talk that he's going to want Abigail back, so we'll see where that goes. Okay, huge emotional moment this week, guys. Hope writes a letter to Beau asking for a divorce, or at least telling him that she has to let him go. Then later in the week, she sits down with Aiden, talks it all out, and he asks her on a date, and they make a date. Now, it's kind of stupid because when Chase asked him about it, he was like, I made a reservation because I have a date. I'm like, you could have said you had a client, you're a lawyer, but whatever. Yes, we got a little closure to Beau and Hope. Everyone seems to think that it's great for Hope's character, finally letting go. Very emotional moment. She cried. We cried. It's history being made right now. Speaking of making dates, Clyde kind of convinced Kate to go out with him. He really pushed it. Are you embarrassed to be seen in public with me? I know you're a fancy lady and I'm just an old hick, but, I'll show you a good time, good company, good meal. She finally agrees by the end of the week, so we'll see what comes of this. Clyde is also confronted by Jordan this week because she saw Jeremiah and was wondering what he was doing in Salem because she knows that Jeremiah works for her father in his little dirty business. Clyde gives her the death glare. Like, seriously, it was really creepy. He also gives us a little hint as to more about Jordan's past. He says, your brother doesn't know the whole story, and if he did, then he wouldn't think that you're such a hero. So it's kind of hinting that Jordan was somehow involved in her father's dirty business. One theory is that it was prostitution and Jordan was a hooker. This is just a theory, let's not go making assumptions, because the day's costume department has been putting her in these skin-tight dresses and, giving her the cleavage cut. But Jordan also has a confrontation with Rafe. She admits that she saw him with Kate, and that it is totally over. She wants him to stay away, because she's so freaked out about her dad and everything else. She feels really unsafe right now. Okay, another big thing that happened was that the college party happened earlier on in the week. JJ and Paige fall victim to Eve's prostitute plan, where she paid the girl to try to seduce him and take pictures, send them to Paige. Didn't really work out because JJ is a committed boyfriend, so she had to resort to drugging him with the rape drug. And then the picture was very convincing. Paige and JJ broke up for like 2 episodes, but then of course he tells her that he thinks he was drugged. He looks her in the eye and says, you know me, I wouldn't lie to you, you're the only girl I want, and they're sort of back together now. So sorry, Eve, I guess it didn't work. Teresa also brags to Eve that she did some research, and people who get that kind of concussion will probably have retrograde amnesia, so he probably won't remember anything even if he does come out of the coma, which we're still waiting on. Speaking of Teresa, Brady went to Kristen and kind of threatened her to stay away from her and everybody else in his family. Eric Cole things happening this week. Eric is very attracted to Nicole. This much is obvious as he's going through his pictures. He misses her. Caroline suspects it. But then he finds out that Nicole has been stalking him, walking by the pub every night, and buying his pictures online. And he really just wants to sever his ties with Nicole so he can try to move on. Jennifer was so desperate to get Daniel this week that she stopped by while Kristen was there, and of course when she asked, he said, "What, because you don't trust me to be with Kristen?" Oh, this is the same thing. They're really bad. Splitsville. Daniel's like, "Jennifer, you gotta give me some space. I don't think we should do this." And I kind of agree. It's getting tiring, and Jennifer just needs to move on. There was a big basketball game this week between Sunny and Ben, and Lucas and Rafe. Pretty awesome, actually. Apparently the TBD guys crushed Sammy's exes. It was such a tiring game that Sunny has to go home and join Will in the shower. Yay, we finally got a Wilson shower scene involving Guy Wilson. Oh, we were waiting for this. Also, with Wilson this week, Will was coerced into taking up another story, this time involving a profile on Chad DeMira, who is back in Salem. He hasn't really accepted it yet, and Sunny is kind of hesitant at first. He says, "Oh, it's just like the Ejami one. It's like, well, if you don't do it, then somebody else will, and they won't protect them as well as you will." However, after Chad's behavior at the club, he says that he's not so sure that Will should turn down this opportunity. Perhaps Sunny is getting that revenge bug that Will had. And lastly, my favorite part of this week, Ejami are reunited! Oh my goodness, I have been waiting for this for so long. They kissed in the middle of the week, and then of course Roman walks in and he's like, "Sammy, what the heck are you doing?" And Sammy uses Jarlena. He says, "If Marlena had not been in love with John and she wanted to be with you and your kids, tell me you wouldn't say yes." And of course this works. Roman wants to support Sammy, and, she gets up in his face, and he actually admits that, "Yes, I would." So Sammy realizes that all of the bitterness and the hate and the revenge just make you cold, and it hurts, and she doesn't want to hurt anymore because she loves EJ. They have a wonderful romantic meal together. They talk about the kids, they gossip about the staff, they reminisce about old tango contests. And they hold hands as they walk upstairs to the bedroom. You hear that lovely Ejami music that we're probably not going to hear for much longer. The one that goes dun 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 dun. And that originated with the Colleen and Santo DeMera flashbacks, and they paralleled it with the current Ejami, and now the music has just been their love music. So anytime they have a romantic moment or they're getting ready to make love, that's what you hear, and we heard it on Friday. It was awesome. Lots happened this week, but we still got a lot to look forward to. Chad's gonna make his mark in Salem, but he's gonna, get a lot of people mad on his way. We got some dates to look forward to next week, and let's enjoy Ejami while we still have them. See you next week in Salem.